It's a very good question. I haven't thought about it in a while since we had done our initial planning around that about 10, 12 years ago now. So it's been some time that I've been kind of here at the helm, but at the same time, I think there's two main pieces of that. One is, as you're talking about, it's generation, right? So you're working with family, right? So I think the first thing is to understand how to work with your family, and that is to say you you want to always remember that you're family, right? Because things in business, especially if, and for all those that don't work with, family members, understand, that there are tensions in business all the time, right? Between bosses, employees, between colleagues, even between, salespeople and customers, and that where a lot of frustration can boil over sometimes. And at the end of the day, you have to be able to think about yourself sitting down at the dinner table with this person, right? And saying, how are we going to go on as the relationship that we should have without letting all this stuff cloud that piece of it. And I think my father was very good with that with his father. And I have tried to carry that same lesson home. And we can have it's not that you don't have a heated discussion. It's just that, at the end of that heated discussion, especially if you're wrong, you are going to have to, take that back and apologize and move on and figure out how to, make sure you're having that relationship. Because in particular, if it's a generational item, then you probably are dealing with grandkids and other things too. So not to let that piece of it, that business piece of it, overtake the family piece. It's a family business. The family comes first. It's not a business family. So even though I would say we are, of course, with the other team members here, consider ourselves also a family. But when you talk about a multi-generational business, you're talking about a family business, right? So, and the second piece, I would just say, get good advice, right? So when you're doing the succession planning, when you're doing any sort of other planning, when you're doing, estate planning, all sorts of things that tie into these things, which are very complex and sometimes difficult things to talk about, make sure you have the right advice, because it's very easy to do things the wrong way. And don't consider yourself a financial expert or a, business restructuring expert if you're not. I mean, maybe some people are. I'm not. So I certainly am, willing to be humble enough to say, hey, I need help, and I need help from experts, and that's important to kind of think about as well. That is really a piece of it that many people just try to do it, as simply as they know how to do it, and that often can lead them into other issues as well. So.